If you've ever driven through the middle of the night in an unfamiliar place, you know that there's beauty around you, but you just can't see it. And that also, that there's this adage which states that if you can find somewhere in the dark, then you can easily get to it and find it during the day. So I've been doing production at festivals for 17, 20 years, something like that. I've done everything from stage managing to campground hosting to box office and all that stuff in between. So I know how the logistics of all of these things work. And I'm usually one of those guys that's either there before there ahead of time, or and then also leaving late. And then one of my dearest friends, who I've probably been working with about half that time, is Ox. And we've saved each other's lives a couple of times. So I like to listen to what it is that he says. One day he calls me up and he says, "Hey, can you keep a secret?" Well, sure. Yeah. What's up? He's like, "I want you to come to this festival." Like, another festival? Yeah. But guess what? You don't have to do anything at this festival. What? Yeah, just show up. That's all. Just show up. Really? Well, how many people are going to be there? So, well, it's a secret. Is there going to be music? Do I have to bring my own food? It's a secret. Just, well, what am I supposed to do? Just show up. Okay, I'll just show up. I'm kind of in the dark around this, but all right, sure, fine, okay. So on the day that I'm supposed to leave, oh, where is it? It's at Summer Lake Hot Springs, which is, Summer Lake is in the southeastern corner of the state of Oregon, at the northernmost point of a 30,000 acre, 300,000 acre. It's a big prehistoric inland sea that is now a salt flat. I think it's one of the largest salt flats in America. And Summer Lake Hot Springs is right underneath, right at the tippy top of that. And so on the day of the event, the day I'm supposed to show up, I throw my tent and my sleeping bag, a little bit of food, my headlamp, and a bottle of gin into my car, and I'm headed out at dusk. And as the night creeps in and gets darker and darker, it's a 5-hour trip. And when you're on a trip of that size, two things can happen. One, either you've got a killer playlist and I just bebop down the road playing that playlist, or you do what I did, which was begin to chew on my own foot around the uncertainty about what's going to be coming before me. How many people are going to be there? Am I going to know anybody? Do I have the skills? What kind of food is it going to be? So I literally scrape myself off the ceiling, put myself into my pocket, and say thank you for sharing. About 1 a.m, I drive down this long, slow hill. Dark, hulking shadows around me. And then it opens up and there's a sliver of the moon shining white down across this ancient prehistoric sea. And in the far in the distance, about 20 minutes away, I can see the twinkly lights, the telltale twinkly lights of the entry. I pull off the rural highway onto the gravel and am welcomed by a cacophonic group of humans dressed in tutus and umbrellas and headlamps and woohoo, welcome home, this is great, woohoo. I made it. Get checked in. And then Clipboard walks up and leans on the side of my car and says, "Hey, guess what? I need you to volunteer for at least 3 shifts of 4 hours each. What can I sign you up for?" She doesn't know me. She doesn't know what I've done. And I say, "Can you just give me a little bit of time, please?" She kind of gives me a little bit of a side glance. And she's like, "Well, you know, this place is small enough so that I will find you." I'm like, yes, I know. Let me just get sorted. Oh, and it looks like you have a radio. Could you please radio Ox and tell him that I'm here? She reluctantly lets me go without having signed up for anything. And then I pull in, and there's Ox's shadow, silhouette. He beckons me out of the car, gives me a great big old hug, and says, "Thank you for coming. Let's get you set up." So he puts me behind the production cabin, just enough out of the fray that I'm not in it, but kind of in it at the same time. And by the light of my headlights, at 1:30 in the morning, I get out my tent and my sleeping bag and that bottle of gin and go on a bit of a wander. And since it is a slivered moon, I can only see the shadows of the great big old bathhouse. And there's no other lights. It's dark. And I don't really know where I am because I've only been there once about 8 years ago. There is one light, though, and I begin to head towards it. And as I get closer to that light in that one outbuilding, I hear music and I hear laughter. And then I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I slowly, coming out of the dark of the night, 1:30 in the morning, open the door, poke my head in, and there's silence. And then a gasp, and then, woohoo, yeah, you made it, you made it, you made it. And there, leaning against the stainless steel prep counter, are my dear friends, Amber, May, and Amanda, two of my dear sweet sisters who I've done a lot of production with in the past. And with their squeals and hugs and whoopee all around, and then they refix they repair my cocktail and get them all filled back up again and sharing. And then I realized that I have found my place. And for the past 3 years, after that one fateful night coming in out of the dark, I am one of the three musketeers, or otherwise known as the kitchen mavens. And the three of us, Amber, May, Amanda, and myself, run the heart of this super secret festival. Thank you, Ox. You brought me home again.